Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 biopics they should make. Yes. Does anyone love a good biopic? I do. Whether it's about an event or a person, a biography about a person, I'm also going to focus on the people. Like I know like people classify biographies like you can, an event or a historical event is like a biopic and stuff, but I'm mostly talking about people. When I think of biopics, mostly I think of like Malcolm X and Last of the Mohegans, kind of in a way. Ali and just real life people like presidents. They've made movies about biopics about a person's life. Social Network's a biopic about Mark Zuckerberg and stuff. A biopic about a person in this world, an historical icon, and there's a lot of people in this world they've never made biopics about, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this top 10 list. That's why I call it top 10 biopics they should make. These are 10 people I think they should make movies about, and I think they would be excellent movies. And I'm not going to really do like the casting or the directing, really. I just want them to make movies about them, because I think these are interesting people, and I would love to see movies about them. So let's get to it. Number 10 is The Undertaker. Yes, the wrestler, The Undertaker. He was in the WWF and now the WWE. He's now recently retired. The Undertaker was one of the most iconic wrestlers. And I would love to hear a whole story about him. I know there's like documentaries about The Undertaker, and there's a lot of, it was between him or Mick Foley, but I wanted to go with The Undertaker because he always stayed in character. He was the kind of person who never broke character. And that's interesting. And I want to know more about like the psyche of him and stuff. So if they ever made like a movie about him, I want it to be a very compelling, dramatic story about how he had become this character that we all know and love, and how people were scared of him. People were terrified of The Undertaker when they even saw him. People didn't even want to ask for his autograph sometimes because they were so horrified. And I think that does take a lot of toll on a person. So I really would love to see a biopic about The Undertaker. And I know they're making a biopic about Hulk Hogan, and that sounds awesome. I want to see more wrestlers get their own biopic. And Undertaker is one of the number one people I want to see a biopic about. There's still a lot of things about his life I don't know about, and I think they can explore that in very interesting ways in this biopic. So I'm all for it. Make a biopic movie about The Undertaker. Number 9 is another wrestler. It's the last wrestler, Owen Hart. You can put Bret Hart in there too, because him and Bret are brothers. So you can put like a story between him and Bret Hart, but mostly Owen Hart, because Owen Hart was an icon. He was one of the most iconic wrestlers in the 90s. And he is one of the very few wrestlers who died in the ring from a very freak accident. So I feel like if you made a movie about Owen Hart, and that's a big money seller right there, like it's about a wrestler who passed away. So right there, people might get invested about that. And especially if you don't know the story about Owen Hart, you would really want to see then how did he die and what led up to that event when how Owen Hart died and stuff. So I feel like that's the way you can actually like hold like an American Beauty or a Casino, like kill the character off in the beginning and then backtrack to see where that character ended up in that situation. I feel like that would be a really cool way to do Owen Hart's story. I really enjoy Owen Hart. I'm more of a Bret Hart fan. Yes, the best there was, the best there ever will be. I was always a Bret Hart fan. But I think an Owen Hart biopic would be really interesting. And it would do a lot of service to the Hart family because they lost a lot. So, Owen Hart. Number 8, Walt Disney. Yes, yeah, they made a biopic about Peel Travers, the girl who wrote Mary Poppins. And Walt Disney is in the movie. But I want a movie all about Walt Disney. And shit, if you want to get Tom Hanks to play him again, that'd be cool. If you want to get someone else, that's fine too. Maybe like Tom Hanks to be the older version, get another person to do a younger version of Walt Disney. I wanted a whole biopic about Walt Disney because I know Walt Disney had a rough childhood. He had a very abusive father. I really want to know how he came up with the idea of some of these films and Disney World, him creating Disneyland and stuff. There's a lot of things about Walt Disney. Walt Disney was a very interesting guy, to say the least. So I think a movie about Walt Disney would be fascinating. So biopic about Walt Disney, I'm all for that. Number 7, Kevin Smith. I didn't go with a lot of filmmakers, but I went with Kevin Smith. The reason is because I know a lot about Kevin Smith because I watched a lot of his like Q&As and stuff, and you know, a night out with Kevin Smith and all that shit. He has a fascinating life, and it's cool to see a movie about a fan of filmmaking becoming a filmmaker. And he took a huge risk to do it. He put a lot on the line to be a filmmaker, and I want to know that story. I want to know about this average Joe person risking everything to be a filmmaker and seeing his dreams come true. It's almost kind of like an underdog story. So I think a movie about Kevin Smith would be very interesting. And make a movie about him trying to get the gig at Superman, trying to get the Superman gig. That'd be great. I think a whole biopic about Kevin Smith would be pretty awesome. So I'd love to see that. Number 6, Mike Tyson. This would be interesting. This is a movie they would never make. They would never make this movie, but I would love to see them if they did. You need someone, a very raw filmmaker to do it. You can even make it a dark comedy if you wanted to, but Mike Tyson was a character, and you need someone with a big personality to play him. And Mike Tyson has been through some shit. Like, he's done some crazy shit. He's had, like, situations with, like, you know, rape and situations with drugs, abuse, a lot of things, and it would make for an interesting film. Really, it would make. I love just to see the origins of how he got that fucking tattoo on his face, for one thing, but I would love to see a Mike Tyson biopic. I think he's a fascinating guy, and I would love to see that. And I think he would greenlight it too. So, Mike Tyson. Number 5, one of my favorite presidents, Ronald Reagan. Make a biopic about Ronald Reagan. I would love to see a biopic. They made a lot of biopics about presidents, like Richard Nixon. They made one about George Bush for some reason. They even kind of made a movie, like a romantic comedy about Barack Obama. What else have they done? They've done other ones. JFK. They've done John F. Kennedy a couple times with the movie JFK, and they've done 13 Days. They've done a couple movies like that, but I love about Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan has a great story too, because he was an actor who became a president and stuff. So he has a great story, Ronald Reagan. And I know a lot of people don't like Ronald Reagan. He's a Republican. People don't like Ronald Reagan. I really enjoy Ronald Reagan. I actually liked a lot of his policies, and I think he did a lot of good for the country. I know there was like a stupid little documentary that had a lot of inaccuracies about Ronald Reagan, but I don't care. I really enjoy Ronald Reagan, and I'd love to see a movie about him. So, Ronald Reagan. Number 4, one with a hockey player, one of my favorites, Eric Lindros. Eric Lindros was a terrific hockey player. He played for the Philadelphia Flyers, the New York Rangers. I even think he did 1 year of Toronto Maple Leafs. Love to see a movie about Eric Lindros. They haven't made a shit ton of movies about hockey players. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking, like, why didn't you pick Wayne Gretzky? Well, for one thing, Wayne Gretzky is predictable, and, like, you know, they made a movie about Maurice Richard, and that was a good movie. I like The Rocket. I think Eric Lindros would be a fascinating movie, though. I think that would be a really cool film, because Eric Lindros almost died multiple times. Eric Lindros has the world record of the most concussions in hockey. Like, he was brutalized in hockey. There were literally goons going after Eric Lindros so they can get him out of the game. He was a great hockey player, Eric Lindros. A fantastic hockey player. And a lot of people didn't like that. And he got hurt a lot. There was doctors that were telling him to quit hockey, to stop it, and he did not stop. It came to the point where if he kept playing, he would have had severe brain damage. Like, he went through a lot of shit. And I know he had a minor like painkiller addiction stuff. There was a lot of things with his personal life too they don't fully explore, but there was some deep-rooted shit there. And I'd love to see a whole biopic about Eric Lindros. I really would. And I think it would be a good movie. Number 3, Michael Jordan. Definitely make a biopic about Michael Jordan. And Space Jam does not fucking count. And the incredible docu-series that's on Netflix doesn't count either. Watch that series. It's fantastic. Michael Jordan is a fucking amazing basketball player. One of the greatest basketball players to ever live. I should have maybe put Kobe Bryant as well. That would have been cool too. But Michael Jordan has a fascinating story. And the way he brought the Chicago Bulls to be one of the greatest national basketball team ever. It's amazing. What he did was incredible. And his story is really good. It would take hours for me to tell you his whole story. It's a good story. It's very interesting. He almost went from a very unlikable guy to the most cockiest bastard ever, but he helped his team, and he helped his fellow people. So, Michael Jordan, all the way. Number 2, one of the greatest football players ever, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is, without a doubt, the greatest football player ever. He has, I think, the most Super Bowl rings ever. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a football guy, but I'd love to see a movie about Tom Brady, a biopic about Tom Brady. He's one of the oldest football players playing right now. It's incredible. And I heard his story is fantastic. So someone who likes Tom Brady but doesn't know a lot about him, I'd love to see a biopic about him. Number 1 is without a doubt. This is just, it's a no-brainer for me. It's Michael Jackson. Easily Michael Jackson. That is the number 1 story I want to see. That is a biopic I love to see. And that's a biopic I don't think they'd make that. Because he had a lot of problems, had a lot of controversial issues and stuff. I would think it's a fantastic movie. I would love to see that movie. Like, there's so much with Michael Jackson's life that went down, and I love just see them to make a biopic about that. I think that would be the coolest idea ever. If they ever said a Michael Jackson biopic movie's coming out, sign me up. I'd definitely fucking watch the shit out of that movie. So that was my top 10 movies that I would love to see exist. Top 10 biopics that they should make. So in the comment section below, please tell me, did you read this top 10 list? If not, give me your guys' top 10 biopics that you would love to see. Biopics you think Hollywood should make. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.